We cannot neglect. We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only. She has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress.
It's not widely known. Just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
It is a great pleasure to meet you, Inquisitor Lavellen. Bringing the rebel mages into the ranks of your army was a brilliant move. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
I can see many benefits to such an alliance.
Keep the image firmly in mind. We may see it materialize by the end of the evening. I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Duke Gaspard. I look forward to ending this civil war.
As do I, my friend. The Empire needs stability and security, now more than ever. If you have the safety of the Orlesian people at heart, Inquisitor, perhaps you will look into something for me. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An elf savage! Oh, Maker forbid!
This is Gaspard's idea of a joke.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I thank you enough? Can Gaspard take the throne without the backing of the Council of Heralds?
He plans to make him motionless. If the council...
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois. Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the deaths?
Foreigners!
Interesting.
Any word from the front lines?
My spies said the bodies were beyond counting.
Surely the Empress will put an end to the war tonight.
Pray, my friend. If the Maker does not hear us now, just pray.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Is that the Inquisitor?
A Dalish? No, that cannot be. We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us all.
Does anyone have a report on the casualties in the dens?
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
Don't they sound delightful? I'm shocked we haven't invited the court to dinner at Skyhold.
The game is like Wicked Grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer staring down Corypheus.
It might be a good idea for the others to hear this warning. Particularly Cole, assuming you can get him to pay attention.
I'll have a few discreet words. Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Grand Duke invited the Inquisition here.
I need to have this jacket let out a little. It will take some time to get our men into the palace. I'll alert you when we're ready.
What is Gaspar up to? It wouldn't surprise me if it were the Inquisitor.
Interesting. Good to know.
I wish there was more news coming from the Grand Cathedral.
Good news is becoming... How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Please, it's barely half the size of the foyer in the Imperial Palace. It's obviously just a
The
vestibule.
guest we...
Just gossip.
Why are there so many elves here?
The Empress invited them.
I can hardly believe Gaspar and Celine are in the same room.
Grand Duchess Florian must have worked a miracle to get them here.
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Lavellen. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the Mage Underground, champion of the blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Warden Blackwall of Valcheven, Constable of the Grey, bearer of the silver-right wings of valor, the Lady Inquisitor's elven serving man, Solus, Sir Cullen Stanton Rutherford of Honleaf, commander of the forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall, Lady Liliana, Nightingale of the Imperial Court, veteran of the Fifth Blight, Seneschal of the Inquisition, and Left Hand of the Divine, and Lady Josephine Charette Montillier of Antiva City, Ambassador of the Inquisition.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I am delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, Yvette, how are Mama and Papa? Are they in good health?
Can you believe the Inquisition filled its ranks with...
Papa's perfectly happy in the studio.
Just know that will end.
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
Delighted to meet you, Lady Montillier.
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? Rebel mages in Redcliffe were performing blood rites and orgies before you stopped them.
Where did you hear such nonsense?
Everyone in Antiva says so. Is it true?
Those stories are little more than wistful thinking, my lady.
Oh, how dull Redcliffe must have been then.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bills.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh, yes. As she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette, stop.
Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette, that's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of...
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated, but the timing is atrocious.
Why would she do such a thing now?
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight?
Laurent was the love of my life. Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor.
Can I get you a drink,
How could the
Commander
Empress
Cullen?
afford to renovate
No
the
thanks.
palace without war going on?
Inquisitor,
I heard that it wasn't
did you need something?
renovations at all.
The sooner we track
It
down
was
this
damaged
infiltrator,
by
the better.
Gaspard's catapults.
He fired on the Winter Palace.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valois.
Are all the Delancey's here? Get these pastries out to that person.
I had hoped to tour the whirlwind gardens.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire.
Good. I was hoping I would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
That sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
Well, that's useful.
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight? The Empress does.
Eldest daughter of the Ghana of Dasmud, and Riveni, ambassador to the Imperial Court.
Is it true the Inquisitor was handed out of the Fade by Andraste?
I've an idea, Josephine. You should
Lady
invite all the
Nightingale
family
looks
to Sky
nervous. Are all the Delancey's here?
You must dance with me, Commander. You cannot stand about all evening. I'm afraid not.
I still remember the day they came to tell me that my second husband, Philippe, was thrown from his wall.
Lord Severin Ducey, Baron of Jada, accompanying the Baron.
Don't I know you from somewhere? Ah. Lord Rudal de Langres. I've seen you in his company before, no?
I'm just a Grey Warden.
A Grey Warden? God, your face is so familiar. Around the eyes, especially.
We are not serving drinks. Bother someone else. The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Waste of time.
Gaspard.
Interesting. Boring.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. How curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life, if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Floriane hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
Another time, my lord. Waste of time.
Inquisitor Llewellyn, don't head into the servants' wing if you value your neck. Not one else gone in there tonight and come out again.
Our man was supposed to make a pickup in the garden hours ago. Bastard's likely dead by now.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to Duke Germain?
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom.
Well, well. What's this?
Did I see you talking to Duke Cyril de Montfort?
You're being polite. Unlike some people.
Give me that. I've seen the way he looks at you.
I do adore the heady blend of power, intrigue, danger, and sex that permeates these events.
You seem more comfortable with a Grand Orlesian ball than I'd have expected.
I have seen countless such displays in my journeys in the Fae. The powerful have always been the same. Only the costumes change.
Have you seen anything useful?
No, sadly. I do not have the look of one of the elven servants, or I might well be invisible. I wonder how masked men live their lives without ever seeing that servants have an entire society of their own. If you want to find something useful, I would pay attention to what the servants do.
Have you encountered any trouble with the nobles?
The Orlesians do not quite know what to make of me. I have kept to myself, for fear of giving them some purchase to cling to. The food and drink are excellent, however, and the servants have been happy to refill my glass.
I'll be back.
And well.
We need more servers in the ballroom. Where is everybody?
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
How can I be certain this message is from the Empress?
We three wear the masks of House Valmont.
They signify that we are public faces of the Empress.
They are also extremely fashionable.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspard is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspard is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
Did you need something?
Interesting.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
You only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
Are all the Delancés here?
Maker, I hope not.
faces talk even when they aren't moving. Silk on satin on skin, always wanting, chaste but chaste. Too many.
Are you all right, Cole? You seem distracted. More than usual.
They have faces inside their faces, lying with a layer that tells the truth. I don't know how to help them.
Have you observed anything happening yet?
Leliana has many faces. When she puts on a new one, she changes all the way down.
What are you doing, Cole?
A fallen fan can cut like a kiss. Hot breath from the wrong boy on the naked nape of the neck. I helped until they made me stop. Now they've all forgotten.
Stay out of trouble, Cole.
Socks get wet when the tide rises.
That's the bell. I should get back to the ballroom.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
I had no idea.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
I'm here on important business concerning the entire Empire.
As am I, it seems. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I hope so. I could use another ally here.
A sentiment I share, considering recent events.
Recent events?
Recently I found and killed an unwelcome guest within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone. Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough. For the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
If you truly want answers, help me find them.
I already told you. I must return to protect the Empress. Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Your investments seem to be paying off. War encourages armies to borrow coin. No one wants to lose their country because they were afraid of interest rates.
Is that the Inquisitor? Do you think she's pretty?
My third husband, Pierre.
Mistress Nightingale, what a pleasure to see you again.
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game, of course. Did you say Gaspard does?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere. We can only hope Celine prevails tonight. Gaspard will ruin us. Maximilian swept me off my feet. It was such a scandal. A fourth marriage. Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the Fade by Andraste?
And Sir Bastien Vauquelin, Chevalier of the Empire and paramour of the Comte.
Inquisitor Llewellyn, how many of the guests have mistaken you for a kitchen servant? You haven't dazzled the court this evening, but at least you've avoided embarrassing yourself. Well done. What brings you to me?
I want to know more about the peace talks. What can you tell me about Celine and Gaspard?
Gaspard is a warmonger. He served in the war against Ferelden and fought a dozen skirmishes on the Navarran border. He's a simple man. Simple men aren't hard to manipulate. Celine is the voice of reason in the Empire. But reason is cautious. Reason looks for compromise. Reason doesn't choose radical change, however sorely it may be needed.
I had a question about you, Briala.
I'm an elf, Inquisitor. That should tell you everything you need to know about my life. I'm good at what I do. And so that matters. I will help my people no matter the cost.
I've been told you were romantically involved with the Empress.
I didn't take you for a gossip monger, Inquisitor. I suppose your spies have already briefed you, so there's no point in pretending. Yes, Celine and I were lovers once. but we've gone our separate ways now.
What's your story? How is an elf invited to the Empress's ball as an ambassador?
Empress Celine and I have history. There was a time when I put my spies at her disposal. She knows my qualifications. We had a falling out. Now we are negotiating to determine whether I return to her side in the war.
What do you mean, we had a falling out?
She betrayed me. Turned me over to the guards on a trumped-up charge to save her political reputation. It wasn't personal. It's the game. That's how all Orlesians justify these things to themselves. It wouldn't do to let the court know she had an elven friend.
If she doesn't win you back to her side, what do you intend to do?
I have contingency plans. I'm not a child putting all my hopes on a single ball. This evening gives me access to Duke Gaspard. He's challenging. Not as progressive or persuadable as his cousin. But with time and sufficient blackmail, he might work with us.
I'm surprised you'd admit that, considering the circumstances.
I know it's incriminating. Few harbor more resentment against Celine than I. But if she died after inviting me here, the court would certainly pin her death on me. An elf assassinating the Empress? Alienages across Orlais, across all Thedas, would be purged. That cannot happen.
You might be interested in what I've found. We'll speak more later, Ambassador.
Another time, Inquisitor.
Doesn't look like negotiations are going well. Doesn't look like negotiations are going well.
Are all the Delancey's here?
Maker, I hope not.
I'm so glad Maman did not want to attend. She always ruins everything.
Not...
I'm ready for anything. Just give the word.
What do you think about all the scheming and politics?
I think I'd rather be anywhere else. Let's save the Empress and get back to where things make sense. Say what you want about Celine's ascension. She stole the throne? She seduced her way to it? Who cares? In the years since, she's proven she is the perfect mix of strength, cunning, and grace that Orlais needs. Gaspard, you may as well crown a bull if he wins.
So, Silverite Wings of Valor. What did you get that for?
For valor.
Care to elaborate?
It was a long time ago. Back when we didn't stop to boast about past victories when there was an assassin on the loose.
What's the word? Seen anything yet?
I just witnessed the start of a blood feud between three noble families. But anything useful? No.
While I have a moment, is there anyone here I should question?
I'm not well acquainted with Orlesian nobility. They rarely welcome Grey Wardens coming in with the right of conscription.
Wait for my signal.
Gaspard is wasting his time.
Well, that's useful.
Has anyone seen Lucien? He was supposed to have the servers in the ballroom almost an hour ago. If the Inquisition
Did you hear what Gaspard
does
said
that mean
to
that
Duke
Andraste
Germain?
wants him to be emperor?
His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than the rest of the council. Did you see that panicked attaché roaming about?
Inquisitor Lavellan, is there something I can do for you? I am Lady Marcelette, court historian to Her Imperial Majesty.
What exactly does a court historian do?
I am responsible for the historical records of the court. I maintain our library and record all official proceedings.
Are you here to chronicle the events of the evening for posterity?
Oh, yes! This is a momentous occasion. The first meeting between the Grand Duke and Her Majesty since the war began. Even if, Maker forbid, the talks should fail, it is an important moment in the history of the Empire.
Good evening, Lady Marcelette.
Another time, perhaps.
Interesting. Boring.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
He should have considered that before threatening to burn them all in their homes.
This could be worth checking out.
Breath painful, stabbing, and then real stab. Lungs full, frothing, scent of apples as it all goes black.
They're already dead. You can't help them. Don't let their memory overwhelm you.
need to get back before I'm missed.
Should we look around?
This was no servant. What was he doing here?
He doesn't belong. Even if he weren't dead, he would be wrong.
That knife bears the Chalon family crest. Gaspard's crest.
Time to have a word with the Duke. Venatori agents! The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
that Elven? Odd to find it here.
A token of affection from happier times. Celine must still care for Briala.
Fancy meeting you here. Shouldn't you be dancing, Inquisitor? What will the nobility say?
Ambassador, we meet again.
Your reputation for getting results is well deserved. You cleaned this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it. So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
Gaspard killed him, I think. The knife has a Charon crest on the hilt.
I knew it. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers. But killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspard must be planning to strike tonight.
The Empress needs to know what's going on.
You can try to warn her. She won't believe anything from me. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
I would consider such an alliance.
We can help each other, Inquisitor. We are both outsiders here, after all. I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
Does it seem strange that every single person at this party has tried to bribe us?
Interesting.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
I'd wager I have better tales than anything you've heard.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
There must be something here. I need to get back before I'm missed.